Felicia Addison, C.J. Hicks Elementary. Felicia has been teaching for 10 years and has been teaching first grade for 6 years. In her spare time, she enjoys puzzling, watching movies, and spending time with her family. She also volunteers with preparation and delivery of food to families in the community. She has been married for 22 years and has a daughter, a son, and one fur baby. She says her most rewarding experience occurred during her first year teaching. One of the most challenging students was placed in her class. After the student realized that she believed in her, she worked hard to prove what she had believed, and her scores showed it. She says, "The student helped me realize that my knack for teaching was not only to teach children, but to reach them and be their biggest cheerleaders." Robin Anderson, Flat Shoals Elementary. Robin has been teaching for 19 years. This is her second year serving as a fourth grade teacher at Flat Shoals. In her spare time, she enjoys traveling, cooking, and reading. She volunteers to support campaign efforts and promote voting in her community, and serves as a parent volunteer in her children's after-school endeavors. She also works with the Scholarship Committee for the Atlanta chapter of Alabama State's Alumni Association. She is the proud mom of 4 sons and 1 daughter. Her most rewarding experiences are the opportunities she has to remain in touch with former students and watch them graduate from college, get married, begin careers, and become productive members of society, and want to share those accomplishments with her. Aja Brown, Rockdale Career Academy. Aja has been teaching for 7 years and currently teaches special education with a primary focus in English language arts. In her spare time, she likes to play volleyball, knit, journal, hike, visit new places to eat, and spend time with family and friends. She says her most rewarding experiences include seeing some of her students gain confidence and learn to advocate for themselves, understanding that every single person thinks different, learns different, and asking for support is the first step in getting where you want to be. She recalls one of her former teachers told her that she would not be successful or attend and complete college because she didn't apply herself. She thinks about that often with all she has accomplished. She says that statement pushes her to think about the whole student, not just what they show her for one day or for 90 minutes. Alicia Brown, Pine Street Elementary. Alicia has been teaching for 8 years, the last 7 in first grade at Pine Street. In her spare time, she loves to spend time with her family and friends, travel, play video games, and try new restaurants. She also enjoys exploring new trails with her miniature Australian Shepherd dog that she co-parents with her long-term boyfriend of 5 years. She is an active member in her church and has volunteered with the Math 24 Club at her school. She says she has had many rewarding experiences throughout her teaching career, but she especially loves having the opportunity to teach students who are learning English as a second language. She enjoys watching her students acquire the English language over the school year and says it is so amazing. When her students experience the light bulb moment of using and recognizing new English words, it makes her job worthwhile. She truly has a heart for children and feels that teaching is her calling. Sheila Brown, Rockdale County High School. Sheila has been teaching for 27 years and has been teaching U.S. history for 2 years. In her spare time, she enjoys playing games, traveling, trying new restaurants, and planning events. She is active with her sorority and her church and is the lifeguard dogs, or doing awesome works for gestures with a smile, founder at her school. Sheila and her husband of 26 years have a son in college and a daughter in high school. She says her most rewarding experiences have been in the form of opportunities. Using her resources and talents, she has helped students broaden their scope of opportunity to do more, see more, have more, and dream more, which is gratifying and fulfilling. She recalls when she and colleagues raised funds to take students on a charter bus through parts of Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida. The activities of ordering from menus, waiting in lines, and appreciating performances taught self-discipline, self-control, and time management. She says being able to impact their lives beyond the classroom is what makes her keep coming back year after year. Valencia Dawson, Lorraine Elementary. Valencia has been teaching for 15 years and has been teaching 5th grade for 1 year. She enjoys dancing, exercising, reading, playing with her Yorkie, and working in her garden. She is married and has an adult daughter and son and 4 stepsons. She says one of her most memorable experiences was during her 2nd year of teaching when she had several students with major behavior challenges. Their behavior was impacting their academic performance as well as their peers. She was overwhelmed and had to find solutions to improve their behavior. She shared her concerns with the parents and implemented a behavior plan for each student. A daily report was shared with parents, and over time, their behavior improved. She learned that communicating with parents and students helped build a relationship among all parties. When their behavior improved, their attitude toward schoolwork improved. Lorraine Gilbert, J.H. House Elementary. Lorraine has been teaching for 11 years and is in her 8th year teaching pre-K. She enjoys cooking, baking, and spending time with her family and 2 dogs. She is an advocate for personal health and well-being and encourages friends and family to practice self-care and personal well-being whenever possible. She and her husband of 17 years have 3 boys and 2 girls. She says she loves working with pre-K students because it is such a pivotal time in a child's development, and it's amazing to witness their curiosity and excitement as they explore their new environment and new concepts for the first time. She recalls a rewarding experience with one student who had a particularly difficult time adjusting to school. She tried often and in several ways to connect with him, and one day in March it happened. It was a small step when he reluctantly allowed her to hold his hand as they walked to the cafeteria to get his breakfast. From that moment on, they had a morning routine of walking together to get breakfast, and he was more accepting of taking directions and engaging in activities. Stephanie Gordon, Peaks Chapel Elementary. Stephanie has been teaching 1st grade for 3 years. In her spare time, she enjoys cooking new foods from different cultures and playing soccer. She is married with 2 children who keep her busy with school clubs and sports. She also coaches soccer in the community and says she has gained amazing relationships from the community and her school. She says the most rewarding experience as an educator is watching a student learn to read. The excitement they have when they are able to complete a book just warms her entire heart. She recalls a student that came in late in the year and had never attended kindergarten. She says, "We struggled at first, but when we got into the groove of things and he was able to read his first decodable, we celebrated like we had just won the lottery. The whole class did, and it was and always will be a very proud moment." She says she loves her school and she will continue to pour love and support into her students. Dr. Jimmy Holloway, Shoal Creek Elementary. Jimmy has been teaching for 13 years and currently teaches 5th grade. In his spare time, he enjoys spending time with family, taking care of his 2 dogs, and playing sports. He is an active volunteer with mentoring youth and young adults facing adversity to provide support, guidance, and a positive role model. He also tutors students struggling with mathematics. He and his wife of 19 years have 2 children, one in middle school and the other in high school. Last school year, he earned his doctorate degree in education. He was also able to see his students succeed personally and academically. With hard work, they grew tremendously in both math and reading. He says one of the most rewarding experiences in his teaching career was receiving a student in the 5th grade who could not read, but felt comfortable enough to be vulnerable and share with him that he could not read. He says, "The class and I embraced this student and helped him learn to read. and at the end of the year, this young man passed the end-of-year assessments on the first attempt. His former job in the Bureau of Prisons motivates him to enhance the lives of youth and have a significant impact on society. Maria Hernandez Gonzalez, Honey Creek Elementary. Maria has been teaching for 30 years, teaching special education for 25 years, and English to speakers of other languages, or ESOL, for the past 5 years. She enjoys spending time with her family, assisting with costumes for the Heritage Theater shows, directing and producing musicals at her school, and being an active drama mama and soccer mama. She and her high school sweetheart have been married for 30 years and have 2 daughters and a son. She feels that the most rewarding experiences of her teaching career have been watching her students become lifetime lovers of learning. She adds, "I love when they, students and their families, stay connected and share all their amazing accomplishments and let me know I had a huge part of where they are now in life." She also says it brings her immense joy to do things for her colleagues in her school. She loves their beehive. Dr. Shakita Johnson, Salem High School. Shakita has been teaching for 18 years, the last 2 years teaching ESOL, 16 years teaching Spanish, and 11 years at Salem. She enjoys going to the movies, singing karaoke, and reading a good book when time permits. She says her life is like a musical, and she just might burst out in song for no reason. She volunteers with her church and has even volunteered teaching Zumba at the library, our Parent Academy, and Teen Leadership Summit. She says it is most rewarding when students graduate and call her for advice about college. She is able to calm their fears and reassure them that everything will be okay and tells them to just take everything one step at a time. Charles Lamondo, Sims Elementary School. Charles is in his 3rd year teaching and is a self-contained MID teacher for grades 3 through 5. In his spare time, he loves hiking, camping, and all things outdoors, as well as spending time with his 2 pups and family. He has worked extensively with Miracle League Baseball, Rockdale and Newton Special Olympics, and many summer camps for young adults as well as individuals with special needs. He says he was incredibly lucky to spend 2 years with his first class ever, and there is so much that he will never forget. He will cherish being able to experience the students' growth and maturity in themselves and in their passions and dreams both in and out of school. From athletes to dancers and artists, from paleontologists to hallway presidents, he says these amazing students have consistently gone above and beyond the expectations of others and pushed any boundaries in their way. For that, he will forever be humbled and proud, not only for the students, but their families and communities who have given them the love, support, and patience that it takes to make any of this possible. Coria Miller, Hightower Trail Elementary School. Coria began her teaching career as a paraprofessional for 2 years and is in her 4th year teaching 3rd grade. In her spare time, she enjoys spending time with her family, shopping, and eating her favorite food, hot wings. She is the oldest of 9 children and is engaged to her high school sweetheart. She has a godson, a goddaughter, and a first son named Benzo. Her most rewarding experience in her teaching career so far is teaching her ELL student how to read and write in English. At the beginning of the year, the student never spoke and was not motivated to work. By the end of the year, the student was confident with speaking, reading, and writing in English. Brandy Norwood McKibben, Conyers Middle School. Brandy has been teaching for 21 years and currently teaches 8th grade physical science, along with serving as an administrative assistant and the science department chair. In her spare time, she enjoys reading books, spending quality time with her family and friends, and volunteering with an organization that focuses on nurturing and developing children to become future leaders. She and her husband of 16 years have 1 son. She says one of her most rewarding experiences was when a student who struggled with confidence and engagement in science developed through a hands-on project. This student initially showed little interest and often doubted his abilities. During a motion unit, this student became deeply involved in building and creating a crime scene unit. He excelled in the project and even began assisting classmates. Seeing this student transform into a confident, passionate learner and leader was incredibly fulfilling and reaffirmed her belief in the power of hands-on STEM education. Tabitha Presley, Rockdale Open Campus. Tabitha has been teaching for 28 years and has been teaching math at Open Campus for 2 years. Previously, she taught math for 6 years at Salem High School. In her spare time, she likes traveling to different casinos in different states. She also enjoys swimming, bowling, going to the movies, and spending time with her son and her golden doodle. She is originally from Miami, Florida, and graduated from Morris Brown College. She is active with outreach and community service through her sorority. She says her most rewarding experience in her teaching career was when she was an instructional math coach. It gave her the opportunity to help grow teachers in the profession while also working with students in the classroom. She says it was truly the best of both worlds. Robin Robinson, Alpha Academy. Robin has been teaching for 16 years and currently teaches middle school English language arts. She enjoys spending time with her family, retail therapy, and playing with her 1-year-old Frenchie. She has a passion for writing and creating stories and hopes to become a published author of teen novels and teen self-help books. She also loves watching sports with her dad, who is the biggest Cowboys fan. She volunteers at a local dance studio and is the mother of a daughter in college and a daughter in elementary school. She says one of her most rewarding experiences in teaching was being new to the building and being appointed team leader of new teachers and content leader. She says, "This gave me the confidence to explore the leader in me." Annika Sterling, Rockdale Elementary Virtual. Annika has been teaching for 17 years and has served 4 years as an early intervention specialist for kindergarten through 5th grades. She supports the students in person at Flat Shoals and students attending the elementary virtual program. In her spare time, she is an avid reader who enjoys exploring the outdoors with her family and her 2 fur babies. As a military family, she also enjoys visiting military bases and learning the history about the base. She is very passionate about the homeless population and currently volunteers at her church to provide food or clothing to those in need. She and her husband of 23 years have 2 adult sons. She says, as a teacher, the most rewarding experience is the aha moment. She calls it the aha moment because it is the moment when a student who may be struggling with a concept or skill finally gets it and a light shines in their eyes. She says there is no other feeling more gratifying to see than a student empowered by their growth. Natasha Strawbridge, Rockdale Virtual Campus. Natasha has been teaching for 24 years and has been a virtual science teacher for 3 years. She enjoys reading with her book club, walking, traveling, and helping others. She also volunteers with several community service projects, such as beautifying their adoptive nursing home through her sorority. She and her husband of 20 years have 1 son and 1 daughter. She says her most rewarding experiences include the lifetime relationships that she has developed with her former students, including the invitations that she has received to attend their college graduations and even weddings. She says she is truly passionate about her students being successful in class and in life. Adrienne Stroud, Heritage High School. Adrienne has been teaching for 18 years and teaches 12th grade British literature and journalism. She loves to read and watch murder mysteries. She volunteers each month visiting various nursing homes, providing the residents with toiletries and other pertinent items. During the summer, she participates in a summer food distribution program. She comes from a line of educators, including her brother and two sisters, her mother who retired after 37 years in education, her father who worked a short time at an alternative school, and she married an educator whose brother is also in the field. She says one of her most rewarding experiences in her teaching career is when she ran her own in-person school once the COVID-19 restrictions allowed students to return to the physical buildings. She provided parents with a small in-person option that they felt was safe when they were not ready to return to large school settings. This gave her an opportunity to work on the leadership side of education while providing a much-needed service to families. Tiffany Turner, General Ray Davis Middle. Tiffany has been teaching for 12 years and teaches 6th grade science. She enjoys spending time with her family, playing card and board games, watching movies, and snuggling with her 2 cats. She has been married for 18 years and has a son headed to college and a daughter headed to high school. She says watching her students grow is the most rewarding. Seeing a student that may struggle or one that is not interested in the subject develop a love and/or appreciation for it is a gift. She says building positive relationships with both students and parents that last beyond the academic school year and witnessing the positive impact she has had on them is a major reward. Over the years, she has had the opportunity to impact students' lives through coaching flag football and track and field. Tiffany Westbrook, Edwards Middle School. Tiffany has been teaching for 8 years. She currently teaches 8th grade physical science and previously taught life science. She has been the girls' basketball coach for 7 years and the athletic director for 5 years. In her spare time, she enjoys baking as a creative outlet, connecting and spending quality time with family and friends, fishing, and tailgating at UGA football games. She says, as a native of Athens, she proudly holds the title of UGA football's biggest fan. She shares her life with an incredible man and is a bonus mom to triplet daughters. She says one of her most rewarding experiences from her teaching career was when a former student visited and shared that her class was the only part of his day that he looked forward to during a period of depression. He told her that her spoken affirmations, her dorky passion for teaching science, and her consistent tough love had a profound impact and changed the trajectory of not only his life, but his young family's life as well. Lindsay Ezel, Memorial Middle. Lindsay has been teaching for 8 years and has been teaching middle school math for 6 years. In her spare time, she enjoys horseback riding on trails, playing competitive adult flag football, and going for walks with her furry companion. She is active in her sorority and volunteers with the local community development center and assists with the operations of a local food pantry.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Ezel. I'm here at Memorial Middle School. I've actually started at elementary. I started with 1st grade, then I became a 4th grade teacher, and then I transitioned to middle school where I taught 8th grade for 1 year, and then for the previous years I've been teaching 6th grade. I started teaching because of a family friend. She introduced me to teaching. She knew I had a passion with kids, and I actually went to school for accounting and finance, so hence why I love math. So when she introduced me to teaching, I fell in love with it, and I've been here since. So I am a product of Rockdale County Public Schools. I actually went to Lorraine Elementary my 4th and 5th grade year. I went to Edwards 6th and 7th grade. And when they first built Davis Middle School, I was the 8th grade class that ended up graduating out of there. And then I transitioned to Heritage High School. So some of the teachers I actually currently work with are my teachers from back then. So shout out to Coach Hooley, Miss Swain, Miss Swaney, Miss Burton, and Miss Summers. All those great teachers helped mold me into the teacher I am today.
Greetings, I'm Charles Chavis, the proud principal of Memorial Middle School. How do I feel about Ms. Ezel and her being selected as the Teacher of the Year, being a finalist? I couldn't think of anyone who's more deserving of that honor. When you walk into her classroom, first thing that you recognize is love. It's very evident that she loves her students and her students love her. The respect that they have for each other is what opens up the door for the great teaching that happens inside of Miss Ezel's classroom. This year, as I approached her, we closed out the 23-24 school year. Because of her impactfulness, I said, Coach Ezel, I really need you to teach intervention math if you would consider it. And she said she would. And in less than 24 hours, I had an answer. And so we have someone who stretched students at the gifted level, supporting students at the remedial level. She gives her all the students. She goes above and beyond every single day, not only in the classroom, but with extracurricular activities.
So I am involved in a lot of stuff. My hands are very full. I actually coach 3 sports. I coach cheer here at Memorial Middle School. I also coach track at Memorial Middle School. And I currently coach at Rockdale County High School flag football. So I went to college, they had intramural flag football where I competed in there. And then one of my friends from college said, hey, you know, they have an adult league when you get back from college. And I said, oh, really? Let me go ahead and try it out. So I ended up playing an adult league in Atlanta, and ever since then I fell in love with it. Something I would say to the new teachers during their first 3 years, that is, it is going to be tough. We've all been there, but just take it one step at a time. You're not going to be perfect the first year. You're going to grow from it. Whatever mistakes you made in the first year, just learn from it so that the second year can be better. But most importantly, the kids are there for you. They don't know that you don't know what you're doing, or they don't know that you're struggling. As long as you're there for the students, that's all that really matters.
So she definitely gives herself and lends her skills to everyone she's around, and just her dedication and her excitement is infectious. That's why she's so deserving of the honor that she's earned, and I'm hopeful that she'll move on to the next round.
Dr. Charles Garner, Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology. Chuck is in his 31st year of teaching and has been teaching math at the Magnet School since 2001. He also currently serves as an officer and representative for several mathematics associations at the state and national levels. In his spare time, he enjoys reading nonfiction books, reading and collecting comic books with over 25,000 in his collection, and writing mathematics books.
My name is Chuck Garner. I teach at Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology. Yeah, I went to Heritage. Yeah, Honey Creek Edwards Heritage. I graduated in '88. Yeah, this is my 29th at Rockdale County Public Schools. In fact, my very first email address was this one. I got it in 1996. I decided in college that I liked math and wanted to do something with mathematics. Before I graduated from college, I got married, and my wife had finished college already and wanted to go back herself. And she was like, you need to get a job when you graduate so I can go back. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll get a job teaching. I realized I started liking it when I got involved in running the extracurricular math team, because then I had students who maybe weren't the brightest at math, but were interested in learning more, and I was able to teach them stuff outside the curriculum.
Last May, I got a chance to pull a surprise over on Dr. Garner, and I coordinated with his son. I sent him a message and said, we have a big surprise for your dad. Can you give me a call? Can we set something up? And so between coordinating with Dr. Garner's sister and his son, we were able to surprise him at our Magnet Senior Banquet, where all of his family had snuck in, so that when we announced him as Teacher of the Year, we were able to celebrate and all together, and his family was able to be there.
So my parents and my sister and both of my kids and my wife showed up. I had no idea they were going to be there. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about it at all. And they announced it, and I'm on stage with 2 great students, and Miss Basket says, someone else is here to see you. And I look over, and my whole family's on stage.
So it was awesome to be able to take a moment to do something special for someone who has poured so much energy into making special experiences for his students and for his math team participants. It was so exciting for Dr. Garner to be announced as a finalist at Convocation. He is an amazing teacher. Our school is getting ready to celebrate its 25th anniversary next year, and our school would not be what it is if it weren't for Dr. Garner's contribution and investment in our students over so many years. When I think of a Teacher of the Year, I think of someone who's not only investing in their students, but is making an impact on the profession. And Dr. Garner epitomizes that.
It's interesting because I've met a lot of people, and that's what I find so useful about doing all these things, is that you meet so many different math teachers from so many different areas, and you get to find out what everyone's doing. My advice to new math teachers is be a thief. Steal every idea you can possibly get your hands on that you think might help. I think new teachers are overwhelmed. Here we have all this stuff I gotta do. Think about it yourself. How would you do it? Now go ask somebody else, how would they do it? And steal their ideas and implement them. Once you're done with your third year, it's like you're a new teacher again, because now you're like, okay, I have this part settled. How can I get better? Because the first 3 years, you're just thinking about how do I survive? After that, you're like, how do I get better?
Tanya Grant, Barksdale Elementary. Tanya has been teaching for 26 years and has taught in the classroom prior to becoming a media specialist for the last 11 years. She volunteers with various projects, an organization for children's book writers and illustrators, and an educational summer camp. She says her most rewarding experience in her teaching career happened one year when she was teaching third grade. Her class of 19 students were on or below grade level or in the ESOL program. Her class ended up being the only one out of 4 in which all students passed the state assessment.
My name is Tanya Grant, and I teach at Barksdale Elementary School, and I am the media specialist or teacher librarian there. My first year of teaching was with kindergarten. So I've taught everything, and I've been a Title I reading teacher with pull-out with kids from kindergarten through 5th grade. And I decided I wanted to make a change, so I decided to get my library and technology degree in my specialist. So I went back to school and did that. And I enjoy being here because I can bring in those different elements like I mentioned before, and I can support because I already know what the students really need from what they were doing in the classroom, and then I can bring it here in the library, and then they get to hear it again, not just from in their classroom, but they're like, oh, and that aha moment hits, and it's amazing because they're like, oh, that's what she or he was talking about.
Okay, so we have our very own author in the building. She truly wants to spark the imagination of all students to have them reading and finding out more information and writing on their own. And so she provides a wonderful example of just what an author is. And so she really tries to spark the students' interest for her in her love of literacy.
Books and for children, it's just a matter of finding that book that makes that connection. That it's not that they don't want to read, and it's not that they don't have it's not that it's not there. We just haven't tapped into it. I think there's that spark, there's that imagination, there's that opportunity to be in a world that you didn't know existed. You know, sometimes you may not be able to get to travel there. You may not be able to get there, but